because I came from a pretty bad binge eating background. So even when I changed over, it still took me time to get to the space where I am now. Like I can actually, sit here now and say that I never feel like binge eating, and I have, food doesn't control me anymore, and I eat, but I still eat mindfully, like I'll track my food during the week because because I know if I eat this much, I'll sleep really well. And then on the weekends, I'll just eat more mindfully, but I'm still mindful because it's like I just sort of eat it and eat times because look, I don't think there's anything wrong with this, but I'll look good. Like I want to look good, but I don't want to look good at the expense of being obsessed with food and starving myself. And I really actually feel like I've found a balance now where I can train 3 days a week. I can eat over 2,000 calories a day and not be starving and sleep well. And, still like I could probably eat more and go and eat more pizza on the weekend, but I'm like, do I really need it? No, I just have to, it's getting your head into that mentality where you're like, okay, eat till I'm satisfied and eat what I enjoy and then stop, because I think it's trying to get out of that headspace of going, I'm restricting and then I can never have this again. Like, and I think it takes time to get out of that. Like, especially if you've come from a really bad binge eating background.
100%. And I think the mental aspect is important, but until you can physically balance your blood sugar and get your body used to utilizing sugar, you can mentally have that. Cause I've seen it with people and their different programs that actually avoid sugar, but they're like, okay, I'm going to tell myself that I'm fine and I'm going to use this. And do I really need that? But yet they're avoiding carbohydrates. So it becomes this mental struggle for them. Right. And so they really have to be on their game all their time with thinking about that. And that takes an enormous amount of energy and enormous amount of carbohydrates. So they're just kind of working against themselves with that kind of thought process without supporting it with the foundation of consuming sugars. But I agree. It does take some time. And, my mental wiring in my brain was, that it was so bad for me. Even when I was balancing, I was fighting with it. Just like, is this okay? Should I be doing this? I hadn't done this in so long, and because it took a while, but and so anyone that comes to me, I'm like, I get it. I mean, I've been there, I've done it. And to try to just will yourself into eating good doesn't work. And, and I taught people that for so long, that just willpower and grind it out and you can do it and, go on a walk and drink some water, or just go to bed if you're hungry. Right. I mean, craziness. And, but that's what we thought. And that's what we knew to do. But this is just a better approach. And it's totally easy. And it works with your physiology, not against it. And it's not immediate. It doesn't just shift, especially if you're coming from a background where you've been avoiding carbohydrates for a long time. It takes a little bit more time, and so your body has to
increase slowly. I think, see a lot of people come into our, and like they'll do our free program. They're like, I've been eating 1,200 calories. I'm like, increase it gradually. Let your body guide you. Start there, change the foods over, eat. And then as you get more hungry, just increase it by 100, 150. Let your hunger guide you. And it will. Like every time, like you see these women and they're eating 1,500 calories, they're like, wow, I've been eating this food for like a week and I'm waking up and I'm hungry. Like I'm starting to recognize what hunger feels like again. So, I think, and if you don't want to stack the weight on too, because like, it's like if you probably do just need to increase your calories, but it's like, just do it slowly. Let your body catch up.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, all of those has to happen. And, and the thing is your mind does have to get involved because especially with women, we tend to make it harder for ourselves and play against it. We have this fear that what we're doing is going to cause weight gain and all these other things. And then that just creates more stress, and I'm like, hey, you're making it harder on yourself. So you got to give yourself at least, 90, maybe 180 days where you just kind of take all the pressure off yourself, just eat the foods, do it slow, log it, take your temperature and pulse, pay attention to your sleeping, your energy, how you're feeling, all of those things without really jumping on the scale that much. I know people like to do it. It can get in their way a lot of the time, especially if you're in the fitness profession. I know I did that as well. I mean, because we can be a little neurotic, we have a lot of our identity wrapped around that, but it doesn't really help you.
Do you know what, actually, when this is sort of going off topic, but in our program, like we're big in tracking and measuring in the initial stages, like you say, so we can collect data and make decisions and go, okay, well, look, you ate this food and this is improving things and blah, blah, blah. And what Craig's implemented, and initially I was like, I don't like this because I don't like the thought of weighing, because his thing is weigh every day and then take the average at the end of the week. And a lot of women are like, oh, I can't do that. It's such a head fuck. But what we've actually found is it's had the reverse effect, because they jump on the scales every day and Craig's like, it's just a number. It can change daily. All we're doing it is to collect data at the end of the week so that we can look at you and go, okay, do we need to increase this or decrease this, or what effect did this have? You know, like, or maybe it's around your cycle, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of the women have come back and gone, oh, I've just noticed these trends like this, this, and this, and now I don't feel anything about that number. It's actually just a number that and I'm like, because I was like, oh yeah, that, you know, being the same, like jumping on the scales. Whereas now I jump on the scales and I'm like, sometimes I'll just jump on out of interest because I actually don't want my weight to go down because I like to have muscles. So I'm like, I don't want it to go down. But it's interesting, like all these women are going, yeah, I just don't have any emotion now about the scales because I know it's just data. And which is really I found fascinating.
Actually, that's a really good point, because it is just data, you know, and as long as you don't have this emotional attachment to it. And I can see how, if you do it on a daily basis and you actually can see the fluctuation through the day, because honestly, it does fluctuate. You can see in the morning and at night, you're gonna have two different numbers, you know, so it is just data for sure. So, you know, ultimately it's like, kind of find what works with you in that. I mean, if that works and that helps you, 100% do it. If it works for you to not do that at all and to not have an attachment at all to it, then do that. You know, either way, if you find it's triggering the crap out of you,
don't do it.
Probably don't do it. Right.
I think, Well, I think, you know, we talk about this all the time. It's about playing the long game, and you need to go, I'm not focusing, I'm using, that's just a number. It doesn't mean anything right now. It's just to collect data to make decisions, because I'm looking at this as a 12-month process. So like we initially say to clients, first 12 weeks is just about improving the subjective and objective measures of metabolism. Don't even think about losing weight. Don't even think about losing centimeters. If it happens, bonus. But we need to repair. We need to build up your resting metabolic rate. You need to build muscle. It's like, you know, Craig talks about this a lot. He's like, well, like if you're eating 1,500, say we get you up to 1,700, but you're still not strong, you've got no muscle. If we stole those calories back now, you've just undone all the hard work. You know, you need to keep building that base, build the base, build the base, build the base. And that takes time. And you can't rush that. You know, like it's going to take you 12 months probably for most women to get to their goal. Maybe even 18 months. Sometimes longer. Like, but it's, I think once you take, like, I notice a lot of women in our page, they'll post and go, I finally, like, now that I've accepted that this is the long game and I've taken that pressure off myself and I'm focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Like they just, all of a sudden it starts to become so much easier. Instead of going, I have to fucking lose weight. I have to lose weight. You know, like, sorry, we've deviated off the sugar. I was actually going to ask this because I know that you've got to go, and I need to ask you this before you go. But we get a lot of comments too. Sugar feeds cancer.
I'm going to do a whole thing on that.
And do you think we should save that for another time, or can you quickly have some input before you?
Yeah. So yes, it does. But sugar feeds every cell of your body. And if you deprive your body of sugar, cancer doesn't care. It will consume your muscle tissue. It consumes ketones. It consumes fat tissue. It will convert your muscle into sugar. It's going to find it. So it makes zero sense to avoid sugar if you have cancer, because all you're going to do is lower your metabolism even lower, so your immune system cannot work at all, and kill yourself faster. And because again, you know, that research came from somebody that basically put cancer in a petri dish. They removed the sugar and the cancer went away. And they're like, wow, look, sugar feeds cancer. And if you just avoid sugar, the cancer will go away. Well, you're human. The body doesn't work that way. You know, if you avoid sugar out of a human body, it doesn't just die off. We utilize other resources as energy. And a primary resource is your muscle tissue, your thymus gland, your connective tissue. If you don't provide your body with enough usable energy, that's what it's going to break down to feed the system. You know, you see anyone that's passing and dying of cancer, they are emaciated. They are nothing left. Everything's being consumed by the disease. So, you know, cancer doesn't care what it is, it will consume it. So that really doesn't, that's the quick kind of blip of it. So, it is a wrong philosophy. Yes, avoiding crappy foods and fast foods and, like the ones that we discussed in the beginning would be beneficial to you, and eating more sugars with a lot of nutrition in it would be far more beneficial to you. But, that also becomes down to the individualization of the person, what they're doing. A lot of people have cancer, have horrible gut issues, so there's so many other things you have to unwind within them to really address what they can eat, and then that will support them without causing more distress.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I know you're probably just running out of time. Thanks so much. And I hope for the viewers, we've sort of addressed some of those misconceptions around sugar. And, if you've been eating low sugar, low carbs, start slowly, introduce fruits, root vegetables, juice, fresh juice, build up slowly, listen to your body, and you'll just feel so much better. Hey.
Yeah. And if you have questions, obviously my Facebook page has tons of blippets of information. I know yours does.
Get Kate's book. It's really good. How to Heal Your Metabolism.
That is a great book.
You can buy it off our website.
You can buy it, yeah.
If you're in Australia.
One of the few places you can buy it in Australia. So that's where you need to get it. But do your research before you do any of the other crazy, ketogenic or low carb diets. Just really know how your body functions before you address any of these.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Kate. And I shall see you next week.
You got it. Always a pleasure, Katie.
Bye.